Tristan, our powers have reached new heights. With the TG bump, the Keikaku Korner bump, as I've been calling it, I didn't call it that, I call it Those Guys bump. The Those Guys bump, as I've been calling it for these past 2 episodes, now we're on the 3rd right now, it is completely gone out of this world. I mean, we did not even mention it on the show, yet me sending you an email about it meant that somehow, not only did they meet their stretch goal, they, of course, being Aria the Animation's English dub Kickstarter for Season 2 of Aria the Animation called Aria the Natural, not only did they meet their goal for Part 1, which they had put up, they then said, hey, listen, they being Nozomi Entertainment, said, hey, listen, we need $240,000 for Aria the Natural Part 2. So basically Season 2, Part 2. And my goodness, in the same week, it made it. Somehow. It is crazy. We have Aria the Animation Part 1. Oh, wait a minute. I'm confused. So we cut there for a second because I thought I was wrong because I accidentally opened up the same tab twice. So I was like, wait a minute. That is why you should not drink and podcast, everybody. Anyway, so, yeah, Aria the Animation, they made their Part 2, their natural Part 2 goal as well. And Veronica Taylor is now part of the English dub cast, I believe, just like Johnny Young Bosch, legally required to be in every anime. I'm kidding. She actually hasn't been in a lot compared to some of her, like, Johnny Young Bosch type counterparts. I mean, she's been in a lot, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, she was, you know, kind of Ash. But she was, she's been in a lot, yes, but not like someone like Johnny Young Bosch or Vic Mañana, I guess you could argue, but definitely Johnny Young Bosch's. Anyway, so yeah, I can't believe they met their goal. This is amazing, right? Like, this shows you, for anyone, see, it's interesting because now it's kind of, I know that, you know, we talked about this last week, we talked about Aria the Animation, we said, oh, you know, Funimation did something similar with Vision of Escaflowne. There was a company that had done the same thing. I can't believe their name is I'm losing their name again. But I mentioned last episode that they did the same thing for Riding Bean and for Tokyo, what was it, Tokyo something 2040? Tokyo Police? No. I can't remember now. But the point is that the reason I bring this up is because, like, companies now are starting to see, at least I hope that they are, that their fan bases, like, okay, yes, there was always this thought of, oh, they're going to give us the money no matter what. They're just going to throw money at us, and it's going to be great, it's going to be wonderful, ha 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 ha, right? And, you know, like, putting their hands up maniacally, like, yes, give us our money. But I think now they realize, wait a minute, we don't even need to wait for DVDs. We don't need to, you know, we don't need to sit there and go, ooh, well, is it going to do well? I don't know. Let's see what test audiences think, or let's look at, you know, people downloading fan subs and see if there's high numbers there. Maybe those people will buy the show. They don't need to do any of that. They just sit there and go, all right, we have a chunk of the funds, if not all of them. They already paid the money to license it, so this isn't licensing costs. They already paid that money to Japan. So they have the whole, the entire series licensed, apparently. But they were wondering, all right, can we get this thing dubbed? Let's see what the fans think. And the fans, the fact that they got this in a month, this whole, I mean, Season 1 and Parts 1 and 2 of Season 2, whew, I mean, it just goes to show you, like, these companies, I'm so happy that they're able to, and I'm not trying to put anything bad on Nozomi Entertainment. I'm not trying to, like, say, like, oh, they just never got it, right? Or, like, Funimation, like, they just don't get it, man. But it's just the idea that, you know, it just, these fans are so invested. And I'm so happy that I think, instead of just going, oh, is this going to do well? Or, you know what, who cares? Let's not release a dub. Or, hell, let's not even license it. Who cares? They're sitting there going, no, there seems to be a fan base. Let's see what they think about this. Getting in touch with your fan base. Not just going, you're going to take what we like because I know that you like it. No, you know, yes, there was arguably market research to try to get this thing licensed just off the ground, even in the first place, but not market research like just people sitting, you know, in like a cubicle or sitting in some corporate office going, yeah, I think they're gonna like this. I mean, the numbers show that they like this online, so they're gonna have to like this. I mean, it's Dragon Ball, and people love Evolution. I think putting the two together, it's just gonna do wonders. All right, you're just gonna have to just write that out and do that out, and no, the public is gonna love him in school. Kids like school, and all this
I think
bullshit.
Matt is just Matt's just trying to bring up Evolution enough times that he actually gets me to explode on camera. I think that's what he's trying to do. He's subtly trying to insert it into almost every story, but I'm onto your game, Matt. I've been listening. I've been paying attention. I hear you.
I can't think of. Well, then fine. Give me another bad adaptation, and I'll do it. I'll talk about it right now. Give me another bad adaptation of an anime, and I'll do it. That we know it's bad. Don't bring up Death Note. We don't know yet. But
Well, it's just my opinion.
yeah, no, we don't know Death Note yet. No, but my point is that instead of people, in their suits, right now you can't wear a suit, but in their suits talking about the data shows. I mean, all these kids love school. I mean, all these 97% of kids are in school, so they must love it.
Kickstarter, this is them putting out a Kickstarter and actually having fans.
Yes, talk to them directly. Because that's the thing, right? Fans, the reason why companies now, we're not talking about anime, we're kind of getting broader here. Companies now are like, oh, these millennials are killing this business and they're killing this business, and why is this dying and why is this not being funded enough? It's just that things are changing where people, not trying to talk about general income. We're not getting that deep. We're talking about the fact that people are voting with their wallets more so now than maybe ever, with the large amount of choices that they have for any kind of media. So now, this they might not even have millions of fans for Aria the Animation. I've never heard of it, you've never heard of it, and I'm sure there are a lot of people that have never heard of this, right? So I'm not saying that there's tons of fans, but you know what? There are enough fans that were dedicated enough to put their wallet to this, rather than, a company maybe 10 years ago, Nozomi Entertainment would have said, well, I don't know, it doesn't seem like that many people are into this, so oh well. And then a bunch of fans would be like, man, I wish it was dubbed. I wish I could see Let's Wear, and doing fan casting choices of maybe Veronica Taylor would have been in it, something like that. Now it's no, you have a direct link to your fans, and you need to use it, and they're using it through these Kickstarters, it's just... That's the reason why I'm saying it's just so cool that they're trying to make this direct connection, and it's working because it got funded, and they funded multiple seasons of the show. That's how crazy it is. It got funded to the point where it's well, we're gonna ask for what was the original goal? Was it 90,000 or something like that, or?
Its initial goal was 110,000.
Thank you. Initial goal was 110,000, and they were yeah, we're just gonna need X amount more, and then they got it. They're whoa, we're going to need a little bit more than that. And they got it. They just keep on. Now, obviously, yes, people, talk about their Kickstarter horror stories and be like, well, what can happen? But as of right now, this is a reputable company that has released anime before. I think this is their first Kickstarter, though. But still, clearly, if it is their first Kickstarter, I think they understand that, hey, this might work in the future, If there's fans of this, they're going to want more of it. So, of whatever that future anime may be. So I think that's why I'm really happy about this kind of future. Where, not that I want, it's not I want these companies to, these other companies that aren't doing as well to topple. I'm not trying to sit there and be yes, down with capitalism. No, it's not what, I'm cool with capitalism. It's just the idea that, these companies are clearly reaching out to their fan base, and they're not doing it in ways that are, with hashtag wiggity wiggity whack, hashtag meme anime, not any of this trying to thinking how do I appeal to the youngsters bullshit, right? It's just, hey, they want the anime, and we would like to do it dubbed, and if they want it dubbed, then they pay for it dubbed through this Kickstarter, and we know essentially that we're making pre-orders without setting up a pre-order page, because they would have had to have put 110,000 plus whatever they have set aside, because I assume they have money set aside for a dub. I assume they're not just using 110,000 to dub the whole thing. I would imagine. So they're well, you know what? Let's just see if this is worth it. So I think this is great because it can also push other companies in this direction as well, and other companies can go, well, we have the money to do this portion of it, but we don't have the money to do this portion. Do people care? right? That's essentially what it is. Do people
Right.
care? And if they care,
Let's find out.
let's find out. And for
Yeah.
these last few anime Kickstarters that have been wildly successful, people care. Right? People care, and and there are older fans that care, and there are newer fans that care, because the company, that did Riding Bean and a bunch of, those other anime that that I can't remember off the top of my head, those were older 90s anime that they picked
Right.
up. 90s and 80s anime that they were doing. Vision of Escaflowne is a 90s anime. It wasn't like, it was a Blu-ray release, but of an older anime. It wasn't like a new Sailor Moon Crystal or something like that. It was a re-release of the original. And then this is an anime that came out, like a couple years back, I believe, is what it was.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that, anime fans are kind of able to have more of a direct voice, one-to-one, like with their, with these companies, rather than just having to go, oh, well, I guess I got to ask them questions at the next convention, right? Like, that's nice, but you don't have to just wait till a convention anymore to ask a question. And even putting social media aside, just, fans can really express themselves and be able to say, hey, listen, I want that, and I want that so hard that I'm going to pay you for 2, right? I'll buy 3. I'll give them away to friends, So I think it's very interesting. Hope is one of the situations where I'm like, I hope there's no scalpers, right? We've been talking about scalpers just personally, you and I, with like the NES Classic editions and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, hope there's no scalpers. But you know what? Even if there's scalpers, there's no physical product yet. It's a Kickstarter. Right. So without those, if there are, which I highly doubt there's scalpers, but just, hypothetical, if there are scalpers, they're making a product happen in the first place. Where like with something like the NES Classic Edition or the upcoming Super Nintendo Classic Edition, it exists. So don't scalp it, you jerks.